A lot of times we don't really acknowledge kind of who we are as a corporate unit. As you look around, there's a lot of people that are sitting in here. But what we are supposed to be and what we are presented as the body of Christ is one. So whatever is happening over here should be felt over there because we should be one. And this struck me even more, Michael, I think it was you who talked about unity. And it resonated even more with the thoughts that were on my mind and what was going on. And so we're just going to work through that a little bit. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 12, starting in the 12th verse. I will be reading from the New American Standard Version. And it reads, "For even as the body is one, yet has many members, and all of the members of the body, though they are many, are one body. So also is Christ. For by one Spirit we were baptized into one body, whether Jews or Greeks, whether slaves or free, and we were all made to drink of one Spirit. For the body is not one member, but many. And if the foot says, because I'm not a hand, I'm not part of the body, it is not for this reason many the less a part of the body. And if the ear says, because I'm not an eye, I'm not part of the body, it is not for this reason any less a part of the body. If the whole body were an eye, where would the hearing be? If the whole were hearing, where would the sense of smell be? But now God has placed members, each one of them in the body, just as he desires. If they were all one member, where would the body be? But now there are many members, but one body. And the eye cannot say to the hand, I have no need of you, or again the head to the feet, I have no need of you. On the contrary, it is much truer that the members of the body, which seem to be weaker, are necessary. And those members of the body which are deemed less honorable, on them we bestow much abundant honor, and our less presentable members become much more presentable. Whereas more presentable members have no need of it. But God has so composed the body, giving more abundant honor to the member which lack, so that there may be no division in the body. But the members have had the same care one for another. And if one member suffers, all the members suffers. And if one member is honored, all the members will rejoice with it. Now you are Christ's body and individually members of it." That's kind of the base scripture where we're starting today. And that is 1 Corinthians 12 through 27. And we've heard this scripture a lot, and we understand that our body works together, and our body walks together, and our body moves together. But a lot of times when it comes to the practical application of our faith, we would want to denounce or put aside those that are members of the body, but don't agree with the way that we are, or the way that we do things, or the way that we see things. And we can see this now even more, that division has entered into the body. And so now it's like we're splitting ourselves in half, that I'm going to go with this half or I'm going to go with that half. When was the last time you saw half a body walking around anywhere? And it's even more important that we realize that we are just the body. One of the things that the body has to be connected to is the head. And then wherever the head goes, that's where we should be going. And the head is Jesus. And so that should be the guiding force in everything that we do. The problem is not with the head. The problem is with the body. And so what we have now is a body that's laid out that needs to be in a hospital somewhere because it's deformed and not operating correctly. We say this all together in Psalms 133:1. Behold, how good and pleasant it is for the brethren to dwell together in unity. Well, wait a minute. That word unity right there means that we are joined together. So how is it that I don't want to be a part of something that I am in fact joined to? And let me make this clear that when we talk about unity, unity does not necessarily mean that everybody's doing the same thing and that we are in agreement in thought, but we are in agreement in movement. And so what we need to find in ourselves is the movement. Now, while I'm talking about unity of us together, I want to preface this, that I have to make the decision in the way that I move. And so if unity is missing, am I out of place or is somebody else? Let's take the scripture that he leaves the 99 and goes to the one. Everybody preaches about him going to the one. Can we talk about the 99?
Right. Come on.
Let's talk about these 99. Because essentially the leader of the 99 gets up and says, stay, I'm going over here to get the one. But sometimes, let's talk about us. Don't be gone too long. Because if you go too long, or this sheep look like he turned the wrong way, then another one of the sheep want to turn and yell at the sheep that they think is turned the wrong way, and then they get mad and get an attitude, and then that sheep gonna go off to the other way and all of that. Where's the unity in that? Now the sheep themselves, the animal, the sheep doesn't have that problem, but the body sheep do. Why? Elder Glenn, I like what you said to me, so I'm gonna go over there and sit in the corner. I'm gonna go sit by myself because we'll wait till Apostle come back because I don't want to deal with this. We do that when we have those emotions and we have those feelings, not realizing that that is in fact causing division. When we're studying the structure of the church and the body of the church, it reminded me even in Ephesians 13, it says, until we all come into the unity of the faith. That word unity there, if you look up the root word, it means one. Just one. Which means there's one faith. And that we are constantly working to get to that place of unity. But where's the problem with us becoming one? We have to understand the Hebrew understanding and the Hebraic definition of one. It means unit. We actually first see this in Genesis 1 and 5. Where it says, and there was evening and there was morning one day. One day. Thank you for helping me out. One day. So here we have two individual parts. We have day and we have night. We have morning, we have evening. Dark and light. Two things that you will never get to mix. Two things that you will never get to agree, and yet they're one. And in our Western mindset, we see, no, it's morning, it's night, but we're going to just say it's today, and we're going to go through both. And there are moments where they mingle with dawn and dusk, but yet you don't see them fighting over who's going to take over. When daylight saving time hit, now all of us were shocked. Why is it dark? But you didn't see morning and night fighting. They just make their transition. My time is now. My time is not. And they move exactly where we need to go. And we see this oneness that happens in the body over and over and over again. You have this story in Ruth 1 where they decide, hey, we gotta move from here. We've lost our husbands. There's nothing here from us, but we're gonna follow one and we're gonna go with it. But do we do that as easily? Let's talk about even within the house, the church. Hey, I want what you have, and I want to be able to do what you want to do, and it causes friction, and we're not being able to move together. Okay? And so we see this happening all the time. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do a little activity. Can we call this an activity? Yeah, we're going to do an activity. And I just need 3 people to come up and do the activity with me. Or not with me. I need 3 people to come do the activity. Just 3. It's nothing harmful. Nothing.
Damn.
You can go. Come on. 3 people. You may want to move that back. 3 people. All right. Y'all acting like, y'all's like, oh, we're a little scared. You don't have to be scared. I'm going to hand you this. I want you to hold on to that. Put it in there. Yeah, go ahead. Push on. And y'all can do the same. Put that around your arm. Thank you for sharing. Now, this is kind of how we are, because we're always in pursuit of something. Now, everybody needs to grab a hold. Can you grab a hold of that? Grab a hold of the yellow. No, you grab this. Elder Glenda, can you grab hers? Pastor Teresa, you got to give her your other end. Now, this is us. This is how we all should be. We should all be joined together, doing our own thing, going our own places, having our own way. You might want to switch up. And having our own way. But yet we are always here doing our things. But we got stuff to do. We got tasks to accomplish. We got places to go. And we got things to do. Okay? So, Creed, that's your table over there.
Sorry.
We already not joined together. We had already came apart. No, you fine? Elder Glenda, your table's back there. Pastor Teresa, your table over there. Okay. Now, each of the tables have an activity on it. And this is the way. They all got to get done. But the first to get them done wins the prize. There's a gift that's available. All right? Gift is available to the first person that gets them done. Can y'all get y'all stuff done?
Not separate, no.
Not what?
Separate.
How you get it done is up. It's not up to you. I can choose that.
Well.
Wait a minute. That's up right there. No, you're not. That's about as real as it gets.
That's how
Because that's exactly what we do. We decide we no longer want to be part of the body. We don't want to be joined together because I got something that I'm trying to get. So you know what? Forget all of y'all because I'm going to be walking over here. That's exactly how we do. Whether we know it or not, whether we're feeling it in the moment, we do it. Okay, so who's going to get it done first? Because you just out. Creed, where you going, Creed? Your table's over there. Where you going? Oh, I didn't know if you had a plan. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we the body. We need to sit together so we can unify.
Yeah, right. Yes.
We know that's our table, but she want to do her table first, so we're going to help her do her table. So we the body, we want to be unified.
Yeah.
Okay. She said they want to be unified. They're going to be the body. They're going to do it together.
Break away.
She was the lead. She took lead.
She did.
She took lead.
So, no, y'all really got to do it.
Yeah, let's go.
So here's what you see happen. One person has given up their own will for the greater good of the whole body. And not only did she do that, she is now even entertaining the one who's like, I'm about to leave y'all. So when was the last time, honestly, that you said, you know what, I see that you're straying away and that I'm about to lose you. It's really not about me at the moment. I'll just go ahead and get done what you need to get done. And I love the words that she said. She says, we're the body. So if we're going to get this done, let's unify and get it done. And just share the prize. Look over, she over here sharing the prize as well. But that's where we are. Look at the church. Look at the work. Look at the thing that goes on. Is it about, well, I just don't want to do this, or I don't want to give up my time, or I don't want to be over here, or I don't want to do the requirements because, you know what, that just takes too much of me. Are you willing to let somebody else lose or have to carry a heavier load because we don't want to become one? That's part of where we are kind of missing it there. And you see right now, they're working hard. And not only are they working hard, but they're working together. And the truth is that things get done quicker when you work together. We're trying to see where they at. Now, what I don't hear is the conversation that they have in how they're doing it, what's the structure, if they're working together or not.
Well, I heard I love you.
You heard I love you.
I heard I love you.
I love y'all.
I love y'all.
Oh, wow.
So that would kind of, now you're seeing how people exemplify themselves with one another and how it makes a difference when you getting that affirmation, when you're getting that love and things that you need from one person. But y'all, they working real hard. Oh, they working real hard. And not to mention, y'all probably don't see this, but But on each table, there are varying degrees of difficulty of what it is that they have to do. And what they don't know is they actually went to the easiest one first. I'll go ahead and tell
And
y'all
then that's
that.
the reason why she maybe took the lead. Didn't know.
She didn't know.
Yeah.
But what are some other things that y'all are picking up from this? Because what are some things that y'all are getting? Communication. That's it as well. Communication always does this. It goes a long way. So I was talking about kind of the story in Ruth with Naomi and them. That's one of the things that really helped because there was that moment where Naomi's just kind of like, don't go. Like, I don't have anything for you. And she was able to kind of communicate that, but at the same time, they're like, no. Wherever you go, I'm gonna go. Because there's nothing for me where I was. So why don't I step out to try something new and go with somebody else and do something else? Because it wasn't working for me. That's one of the things that we really have to take a minute to learn. There was already a famine that took place in Bethlehem at the time, and they had settled in Moab. And Moab was a place that really didn't have anything for them at that moment, nothing for them to go. And so Oprah and Ruth, that was the names of the two people, their husbands had passed away. Now, according to tradition, you know that they would marry the sons or the brother, but Ruth is like, there is nobody. I don't have anybody. And so here she is, and y'all probably know how this story ends, that she goes ahead and goes, and she ends up meeting Boaz, and then there's something for her on the other side, and she's more productive in the end. All right. Now, what y'all just don't see is one of the members of the body needed something. She didn't leave the body to go get it. She reached out for help to say, hey, can you help me get what I need to do? All right. I'm gonna let y'all have on that one. Where y'all going next?
We haven't yet. Look. We did.
Creek gonna drag them somewhere.
We did. But it's up to you. Okay.
No, wait. No, because I don't.
I'm trying to teach them how to put it together. They don't work.
It's not enough table.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is that there was a little dissension in the body right there. I don't know if y'all caught that. You got one trying to lead, you got one trying to stay, and you got another saying, well, I'm trying to tell y'all how to do it correctly, so something not right, because y'all not really listening to me. I'm trying to teach you, but you don't want to hear what I have to say. And so to the point that they are communicating, sometimes there's issues in communication. Sometimes we're not necessarily hearing everything that it is that we need to hear and do what we need to do. So what is the method that you're trying to teach them, Pastor Teresa? Find your end pieces. And it seems like she gave the suggestion, and now they're going to try to do it. But I really want to talk about some of the other places that we see unity while they're continuing to work through this. Another one is about Joseph. Joseph is a very peculiar story that happens in Genesis 45. And so we know that he is now over there working for Pharaoh. He is overseeing kind of the food in the year of the famine and things like that. And so he's now been reunited with his brothers. They go back and they tell their father kind of about what's going on. But he says, hey, if you want what I have, you got to bring Benjamin, the younger brother, in which I love. And so in order to do that, he put a silver cup in the bag and then sent them off. He then tells his steward to go get the cup. And then they, it's found in Benjamin's sack, and then you have to go back. Father ends up coming. This is a great story of not only the unity, but the forgiveness in that. Because a family that was once one had been divided. Anytime that unity has been broken, there's always a way that you can go back and put it back together. It can be repaired. Now, may the relationship be different? Yes. May the way it looks be different? Yes. May the positioning be different? Yes. But just because you don't want to have the same thing doesn't mean that we can't be one in the faith, one under the head, and move at the same time. And that's one of the things that this story really teaches us. But secondly, that, hey, the father wasn't willing to go without Benjamin. He wasn't willing to go without him. And so those are things that we can also learn from there. Another one is in Joshua 6. And in Joshua 6, this is talking about the walls of Jericho. Y'all, I do want to say this because Jericho had literally been handed over. The Lord told Joshua that he had handed over Jericho and its king and its best soldiers and things like that. And so what you see is that they had been war torn, they had been ravaged, they had been absolutely falling apart into the places where they are. But at the same time, there was victory on the other side. And in this story, this is when they have to walk around the walls 6 times. And it wasn't till the 7th time that they could make the noise and get the victory. One of the things I brought up about this story is, y'all know us. How many of us can really follow the instructions for 6 rounds and not say a word? Not utter a word in order for everybody to achieve victory? Or is it about, hey, I got to get what I got to get. I want to get where I got to go and I got to do what I got to do? Is it about that or is it about me? The next story that I really want to talk about, and I'm going to rest here for a minute, is in Nehemiah chapter 3. I want to go back to chapter 2. One of the things that happens in chapter 2 is that Nehemiah is actually a servant in the house. He's a man of prayer. And in him being a man of prayer, he realizes that I'm serving away from my home. And I got to go back home because they have absolutely been destroyed. It is Nehemiah who then goes and petitions the one in authority over him, hey, can I go back? He goes back and he surveys the land, looks around at everything that is there and says, it is completely destroyed. Now, this wasn't just a place of his home. It was a place where they worshiped. It was a place where they gathered, but it had been utterly in ruins. And so what we see in this particular story is that Nehemiah has to go back in and says, I'm looking at Nehemiah 2, verse 17 and 18, and he says, you see the bad situation we're in, that Jerusalem is desolate and its gates burned by fire. Come, let us rebuild the walls of Jerusalem so that we will no longer be in reproach. And I told them how the hand of my God has been favorable to me, and also about the king's words which he's spoken to me. And they said, let us arise and rebuild. And so they put their hands to the good work. When we're talking about discipleship, a lot of us have been discipled. We're saved, we know the Lord, we know where we're going and all of that. We are at a point in time where unity we see the division. But who is going to be the person that's going to go forth and say, hey, let us arise and let us rebuild. Let us be different than everything else that we've been doing or everywhere that we're going. Let's go ahead and do that. Who's going to be that person? Because here you see Nehemiah saying, it doesn't matter what the bad situation it is. It doesn't matter if we're desolate. It doesn't matter where we are. I really want to be able to put this back together. And so what you see happening in 3 is that he calls all of these people together to come together. And they are able to rebuild. I mean, he gets leaders from all over the place. Nehemiah 3 records that there are 43 different groups of people that aided in rebuilding the wall. And under this leadership of Nehemiah, they only did it in 52 days. 52 days. What can we accomplish if we come together and unite together as one? What can we accomplish? All right, we're going to check in with them. How y'all doing? Y'all got that one? You what? It's missing a piece. Okay. Did y'all lose it? Okay. So I guess y'all done with that one for now? You ready to move on? Well, what's that extra piece you have on the table? Oh, so y'all have something that don't belong, but y'all missing what y'all need. Okay. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry.
I would say take that piece with you.
We don't want eye. We don't want eye stuff.
So did y'all have everything y'all need back there?
We didn't have it on the table really to complete that,
Okay.
Y'all should have took that missing piece.
Oh, it's my fault. She said we didn't finish. It's my fault. Now, I'm kind of curious, and so I can ask you a question, because it's a whole lot of people in here. Why are just the three of y'all doing it?
She just said 3 people come up.
I said 3 people come up. Okay.
Yeah, but the whole time, I've been sitting here like, should I get up and help? I just have that want to get up and help them try to finish it. So that's a good question that you asked. Like, why are they the only ones doing it, and we're all considered a part of the body? So there's a part of me that's been wanting to get up, but there's always a hesitation. And as a part of the body, we have to know that you're a part of this body, so you can help get this task completed.
I love that, because that was going to be my question. Yes, my instructions were that 3 people had to come up. But if you're a true disciple, is the 3 always supposed to just stay the 3?
Yeah.
What are we doing to go out, to reach out, to help, to invite other people in, to let them be part of the whole situation as well? You've been wanting to do it, but you've been had that hesitation on what to do. And the body hasn't asked for any help. The body hasn't reached out. The body hasn't said, hey, we got this to accomplish. Who can jump in to help us? How can we build ourselves?
Stephanie, can you go back to that back table?
See?
We can't get to
Oh, she did take it now.
Yeah.
Right.
The answer is
yes.
yes.
Oh, she gave in. She went. She went.
Now this is what discipleship is.
Lourdes, can you go to that table for us, please?
Not only that, as you see, as they are sitting here building, that a leader has now arose to solicit and to go out and get other people's help.
Lourdes, yeah, you come over here.
Bring that Missy P.
Oh, wait a minute. Somebody asked y'all to take the piece earlier. Y'all said we don't want no missing pieces.
But it doesn't work over there.
Right over there.
It doesn't work over there.
It might be what you need over there.
But they was unified in that.
Right, they was unified.
They were.
They did not want to
She said they were unified. They were absolutely unified in what they were doing wrong. And so I love that now all of y'all are willing to chime in, because now you're not willing just to sit there and be a bystander when you see what's going on. You see things that are unfinished. Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you saw something in the church that was unfinished and you said, you know what, I'm not going to sit by and not let it be done? When was the last time you saw something then and you said, I'm not doing that, even though I do see it? It takes all of us, because we have different eyes, we have different perspectives, we have different things that we can present to help as the body as a whole. They are working. And so now where you had one group trying to do 3 things, they got one almost finished. But now you have more people that are getting the same thing done. They're working. Is 4 enough for y'all?
Children.
She don't want just anybody. She wants the children. Why do you want the children to come?
Their minds.
This may be more their area of expertise than it was ours. Are you willing to move out the way for somebody else that can do it better?
Wow. This is good.
Yep.
These are all things that are happening when we're talking about the power of one. Yes, we're individuals, but we are one.
That's right.
It's 24.
I believe this is the biggest one,
They not puzzle.
and I think this is 48. Now, Carnell said, how many pieces is it? Carnell, why? You think they're moving too slow?
No, don't judge me.
The shade.
Right. I like below a 500 piece puzzle. And no shade.
No shade, but she feels as though some people should be moving quicker than they are. Whether shade was meant or not, they said they feel it. I'm just relaying what they said they feel it over here.
Yeah.
That one, it goes over here. See?
I'm sorry, what did y'all find back
Yeah,
there?
We're done.
We're done.
We go to that one.
That may be
Did you
the
tell the
next
body? Did you tell the body? Body. We found another piece.
We don't know, so we're gonna try, right?
Body.
Try
Yeah.
it. Thank you. See? See, problem solvers.
Yeah. So y'all got two done when y'all were trying to do one.
Yeah.
All it takes is us to really work together. But what y'all gonna do? Cause y'all she said we sharing. We sharing. Anybody want it or just like we not really? No, I'm gonna set it back down there.
You just wanna see what's in it.
She said she just wanna see what's in it.
Let's go see what's in the box. We need to see what's in the box.
Why y'all more concerned about the gift
Because I want to make sure
than you
they
are
got
completing
something
the
that they're
task?
all gonna have something at the end, because you told me it's gonna have a gift at the end.
So you wanna see can everybody?
Is it something that they all can share?
Gotcha.
Okay,
Because they decided to do it together and ask for help.
decided to do it together. Okay. She advocating for y'all. She really is.
Let's see what this.
But the reward of it all is that the task is taken care of.
That's it. That's it. Right there.
I love this. The reward of it all is not necessarily the gift itself, but the task that was intended to be accomplished. And that is how we should be living our lives. Not for what's the blessing that I'm going to get if I do it,
Yeah.
but what is the end goal?
Yes.
How many souls came into the kingdom? How many lives were changed? How many needs were met? How many people went a different way? Not because I want the prize, but because that's what my heart's cry is. That's what my focus is. Y'all got it?
This is taking a long time. I'm like, Clyde. It's taking a
They said they got it. They just
We
got
ain't never
connected.
helped themselves.
Yeah. Keep it on the line.
Right.
Yeah, they literally have the pieces put together. They just trying to put the big pieces together.
A lot of celebration over
A
there.
lot of celebration.
Ain't nobody moving from the table. Are y'all right over there?
And it's,
Okay. Just checking on you.
I love how y'all are putting this. Jesus talks about this in John 10 when he says, I and the Father am one. And hopefully what y'all are getting from this is that if they are one and we are made in their image, it is celebrated. If the Father is one and that we're made in the image, then we ourselves should be one. Y'all stay right here for just a minute. Y'all stay right here for just a minute. It's one of those things that, and John 17 says, in 21 and 22 says that they may be one, even now their Father art in me, and I in thee, that they shall also be with us. So the world may believe that thou hast sent me. The glory which thou hast given me, I will give to them, that they may be one, even as we are one. So we really appreciate you being one. So let's talk about this gift. Here's the problem. We all seek gifts in some form or fashion. If you say you don't want no gift, we all like gifts. Give presents. Give me all these things, especially when it's the things that we want.
Right.
But God doesn't say that He's going to give us a gift. I want you to open it. Y'all can open it.
I feel like it's not needed.
Hmm?
I feel like it's not needed.
Oh, it's another box.
A box.
Told you.
Oh.
He gives us gifts.
Okay.
Ah.
Okay.
All right now. Okay. All right.
He gives us gifts. And the gifts that we give, or we get, look, I put them together. Sometimes we think we're going after one thing, but we really need all of them to work together. It's not just one gift. God gives us multiple things when we choose to work together, when we choose to come into His body, when we choose to be one. Y'all can unhook yourselves, but y'all can't stop being one. Y'all can take them off if you want to. So where am I going with all of this? Hopefully I wanted you to do this demonstration because a lot of times we have to physically see where we are and what it is that we're doing, both in our natural lives and our spiritual lives, so that we can continue to grow and be better. Because we say we're one body, but are we moving together as one body? Are we doing what needs to be done? When we see things that need to be done, are we really taking our time to go over there and address it and try to fix it and do things? Just as y'all help each other out today, how are we moving forward to continue to help each other out? Not just in this local body, but the body as a whole. When we see people in need, how are we helping out the body? How are we moving forward? What is it that we're doing? I want to end with the same scripture that I started with. But I'm going to read it to you in the Message Bible, and I'm only going to read 1 Corinthians 12, 25 through 27. And it says this: the way God designed our bodies is a model for understanding our lives together as a church. Every part depending on another part. The parts we mention and the parts we don't. The parts we see and the parts we don't. If one part hurts, every other part is involved in the hurt and in the healing. If one part flourishes, every other part enters into exacerbation. You are Christ's body. That's who you are. You must not forget this. Only as you accept your part of the body does your part mean anything. What part are you playing? And what does your part mean? That's the question that I have for today. That's the question that I have for today. What part are you playing?